North Carolina, how you feeling? It's a pleasure to be here. Who's got my skateboard?
Make some noise for Andy
Roll
Mineo.
over here. Give me a second, I'm catching my breath. This is easily my favorite part of the night, getting to come out here, hang out with you guys. I wish we had time to meet and greet with every single person, but because there's too many, we're gonna turn tonight into a Q&A. Ask whatever questions you want, whatever you want to do, personal, whatever questions you need to do, and my man DJ Promote is going to lead it up. DJ Promote, can you lay the ground rules?
It's a lot of people up in here today.
It's a lot of people.
Shout out to Andy Mineo for always nailing every city. How do you say it here? How do you say it?
Greensboro,
Greensboro.
North Carolina, North Carolina. What's up, guys?
So what we're gonna do is a Q&A,
do this.
and I'm gonna run around and take your questions.
Throw your shirt up. We gotta play that tonight.
What are we playing?
North Carolina. We gotta do that one. You guys, let's play it out for you guys. Yeah, we're gonna take our shirts off, spin them around our head like a helicopter. That's for sure. Except you don't want to see this. I got the married body right now. It's bad. That's good. Take your shirt off, spin it around your head like a helicopter.
Yes,
promise.
everyone. If everyone else does it, I'm down.
Huh? Yeah. Boys only.
There's like one kid over there like, I'm doing it already. So yeah, we're gonna do a Q&A with Andy Mineo. I'm gonna take your questions and he's gonna give you answers, all right?
You may be seated. It's like a congregation. Y'all gonna take your seats, say hi to two people around you real quick. Where's the basket offering?
Nailing it, nailing it. So we're looking for questions, not requests, all right? So I'm gonna tell you the difference between a question and a request.
Tell them what it is.
A request is, hey, Andy, I was wondering if I could borrow your skateboard and me and you film this video real quick where we shout out. Yeah, that's a no.
Request, that's a request.
That's a request. A question
Requests are
is,
selfies. Can you make a video for my friend?
that's a
What
request.
else?
That's a request. A question is, can you ollie on that skateboard right now?
Shoot, I don't want to mess up my my Roshis. But
Don't
yes.
fall.
Oh, okay. So that was a question, all right? Well, actually, that was a request, kind of, too, so. Anyone got any questions? Let's get this thing kicked off. All right, right here.
You need a skateboard to shimmy around?
No, I'm good. I'll probably fall. I'm good.
Okay.
What tips do you have for learning how to freestyle?
Tips for learning how to freestyle? I don't know. I would just say practice.
And rhyme. Rhyming would be
Yeah.
good.
So there's really, it's just kind of a thing that comes to you. I don't know really even how I do it, but I think I would do a thing sometimes with my friends where I'd be like, throw out a word.
Pickle.
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics on the skateboard, do a backflip, smack it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can play little freestyle games with your friends, which are like, you know, you guys can throw out words or point to stuff in the room, and then you just look at it, try to think about the next word in the back of your head while you're rhyming. So it's I don't know, it's kind of a secret magical skill. I don't think you can just attain without practice.
To your right, I have another one.
Oh, there it is.
If you could do a duet with anybody, any genre, who would you do it with?
Whoa, you're gonna nail somebody.
A duet?
Y'all need to film this just
Like
in case that
harmonize and
happens.
sing? Oh, you mean just a tag team, collaboration? Because when I think duet, I'm thinking like you hold a note, I harmonize with it. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Anybody, any genre? Well, I sure would like to make a country record with Jason Aldean. Burning it down.
Garth Brooks next door, let's go.
I would like to. Garth Brooks. I'd like to do a weird collaboration, I'm not gonna lie. Like one that you wouldn't expect. Like a Garth Brooks or something. Or Timbaland. Timbaland's an amazing producer. I'd love to do a song with him. Dolly Parton. All right, next question.
What was the, I guess you can say, encounter, or what was your moment that made you break down and be submitted to Christ? What was that breaking moment?
For me, the question was, when did I just kind of like break down and decide to follow Jesus? For me, I feel like God puts his finger on stuff that he wants us to surrender or give up to him. And then, like, he usually points out one thing at a time. Even though we have tons of issues, he usually is like, give me this. And I felt like one of the things that was real big for me in high school was I had a relationship with a girl that I shouldn't have had. And he was like, give me that, that's mine. And I was like, nah, chill. And I think in college when I decided to like leave that relationship, because I say it in this record, I say, I got two choices, both require pain. One's the pain of change and the pain of just staying the same, right? And it was like, I knew that being in this relationship was painful because when I laid down at night, I felt convicted before God because we were doing stuff we shouldn't have done. And I was like, God, I can't sleep at night because I'm knowing that I'm sinning against you. But at the same time, the idea of following Jesus and being obedient to him was painful because I knew I'd have to lose that relationship. So there was no route to take besides pain. The thing that brought peace to me was knowing like one of these lanes of pain is going to bring joy eventually. And obedience to Jesus was the one that would bring joy. So I think leaving that relationship was like a huge breakthrough for me. And I was like, why was I holding on to this the whole time anyway? I was like, this is so much better having my relationship with God be intact. And then he pointed out other things to give up to him and follow him. And so it's been an amazing journey since then. That was a real big turning point for me.
What would you say?
I want to incline my ear to thy question.
What would you say to your listeners that, fans that don't follow Christ? Do you believe that you have those fans that...
Yeah, do I have non-Christian fans? For sure, I've been smelling weed in my concerts.
Would you have
What would I say to them? You're welcome here. You know, you're welcome here. I hope you're inspired by our music and the lives that we live. If you have questions, you know, you're welcome to answer those. But they're absolutely welcome.
All right. What is your favorite song or your favorite song to perform?
My favorite song to perform, without question, is "You Can't Stop Me." You'll see, I made that song thinking about how to perform it. So the background of that story is me and Dre. You guys know Dre the Giant? My DJ?
Yeah.
Me and Dre were walking through the airport, and at the time, me and him, we're always going through like different diets. We're trying to like lose weight and cut stuff out. We get off the airplane, and we walk by Auntie Annie's. You guys ever smelled the pretzels from there? It travels for like a 3-mile radius of delicious, doughy cinnamon smell. And we get off the plane like, oh, it smelled nothing like this mic. This mic smells terrible. Scott, we gotta wash these. So we smell it, and I was like, ooh-wee! I was like, you know you feeling the temptation right now, bruh. You feeling it. And he was like, you can't stop me! He said it like that, and he screamed it. That's one of Dre's things, he's randomly loud. And the lady in front of me jumped, and her bag came off the ground. He scared her, and I was like, I lost it. I was hysterical. And I was like, I'm putting that in a song. So then we started building the song, and like, yeah. And I was thinking like, man, when this gets performed live, people are gonna lose their mind and scream.
Yes.
And so, tonight, you had an opportunity to do that. But that's why it's my favorite song. I was thinking of the crowd when I made it, and it's an engaging record. Where'd you go?
I'm back here. Got another one?
No.
My wife's gonna have a son in a couple days. Would it be all right if we name him Andy Mineo?
Absolutely. Can you do a Christopher Walken's impression for us, please?
These are my cactuses. I put googly eyes on them so they don't scare me.
Thank you.
Frills up here.
Hey man, what's up? When's your new music video coming out?
Which one?
Specifically.
Paisanos?
Yeah, Paisanos.
I just got an email today that the footage was sent to the editor. So the editor's in Florida, they're in New York. Let's say 3 days shipping, 3 days of work. Next week I'll get an edit. I'm banking on about 2 to 3 weeks from now. But don't quote me.
Okay, I know that you just got recently married, and
Yeah, I did.
I wanted to ask you, do you have any advice for relationships that are going towards marriage?
I do. That's always a big question. I get asked that a lot about relationship advice. And I feel like I just need to write a book at this point. There's so many layers to it. But for people that are heading towards marriage, I would say when I look at the Bible and I see the roles that God lays out for man and woman, that there's a lot of responsibility placed on the dude. So for dudes, and I guess for ladies, I think there's some really practical things that should happen when you're considering being married to someone, because you're just gonna spend the rest of your life with that person, right? Obviously. I like these 2 pieces of advice. One, there's an article online. Guys, if you're interested in getting married, please read this. It's by Albert Mohler, and it's 13 steps to becoming a man, or 13 steps from boyhood to manhood. And it's like these responsibilities, things that dudes should be doing to be a candidate for a good husband. One of them is having a job, hello. You need to provide not only for yourself, but then for somebody else. And that idea of provision is not only fiscally, financially, but emotionally, spiritually. If you see things that this dude is doing, they can be indicators of his future. Because I think it's a bad idea to marry somebody that you're in love with just right now, because people change. But if you marry someone because you're seeing where they're going, you're marrying who this person wants to become, and you're excited to be on that journey with them. I talked to Lecrae, he's like, my wife don't listen to none of the same music that we were hanging out to and listening to together when we first met, because she changed, and then I changed, and people are going to change. But if you're getting on board, on ship with somebody who's going somewhere, then I think that's something to consider. It's where is this person headed? You know what I'm saying? Is this dude serving in his church, loving people around him, making disciples? That's the type of dude that you want to be with, because you know where he's going. He's going to follow Jesus. He wants to be like him. You want to jump on board with that. And so, yeah, there's a lot of responsibility for the dude. I think it'd be unwise to just jump into something and not consider big picture. Another thing, because I wouldn't be able to walk with each person individually through each situation, is introduce whoever you're dating to or considering marriage to the people that love you and know you best. So your local church should know about those people. Your mom and dad, or the people that have big influence in your life, should know. If you're trying to keep them as a secret from any of those people, it's probably because there's something off in the relationship that you don't want other people to know about, and that's unhealthy. You're I just love him, I don't want them to know. I know he sells drugs, he's changing. Whatever it is. So, yeah, let your community speak into that heavy. But that's all I got for right now.
What advice do you have for somebody that has started to become a rapper, but just in the past year he started to put Christ in it, and
has what?
Is starting to become a rapper. What advice do you have for that person? Me. Okay, there you go. I'm not gonna do that.
Is this friend sitting with a microphone in his hand? Does he have a black shirt?
Black shirt. All right. Anyway, what advice do you have for that person that's just starting out on putting Christ in their raps, but also having the sound to reach people that aren't just Christians?
Yeah. Well, I would say that there's no mandate if you're a Christian and you're an artist to have to put Jesus in your music. There's no standard to have to do that. I have a big problem with the Christian music industry or Christian artist title in a lot of ways, because what defines a Christian artist, right? That's a question. Like, is it by the number of times you say Jesus in your song? And if it is, how many times is it, right? Jesus talks about they will know you are Christians by your love, right? By the way that you live your life, not by the t-shirt that you wear that says Jesus is awesome or God's got this or whatever it is. They're not going to know you by that. They're going to know you by your fruit. And so when I say I'm a plumber or I'm a lawyer, like I don't lead off with I'm a Christian lawyer or Christian plumber or Christian whatever it is. People will know I'm a Christian by the way that I live my life, by the way that I spend my money, by the things that I care about. So there's no mandate to put Jesus explicitly in your music. They should know by listening to your music and the things you value and talk about and so on and so forth. So for those starting out, I think if you want to reach people, I think there's lots of things that Jesus connects with people on. And being a Christian, that we can connect with people. Like, as a human being, period, we all know what it's like to be betrayed, to be hurt, to be broken, to be cared for, desiring love, like all those things. There's a million things we can relate to people just on a horizontal level. And if your music so is inclined that you want to point people vertically, then you can do that too. But there's no standard. Like, genuinely living out your faith, and you're like that'll spill over into your music. You know what I mean? But just be awesome at making music, and then be genuinely following Jesus, and I think those worlds will merge well.
All right.
If you could ask God one question, what would it be?
If I could ask God one question and like have him audibly answer, is that what you're saying? I want to know what he was drawing in the sand. That's just a cool one. I just want to ask him that. What was up in there? What are you doing? Explain that. No, I would ask him to give me lots more questions. Who's next?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Just want to say, I listen to your song Pressure from the former Mineo album all the time.
Oh.
No other song motivates me. In your album, Neverland, you talk about how you never had a role model, now you have to be one. I mean, what does that look like? I mean, are the temptations greater now that you're in the spotlight, or what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just saying that, like, I didn't have many models in front of me of what it looks like to be a man or to be a role model, but now people look at me and expect me to be a role model. And in some ways, that I understand that, you know what I'm saying? Because whenever you have a platform or a voice in people's lives, people are like, steward that platform well. And so for me, what it looks like is trying to figure out, all right, how can I not just think about myself as I create music or as I steward the money God gives me or the influence on people's lives that God gives me, and think like, I want to be what I wasn't, what I didn't have growing up to some other people. Like, I'm reading in 2nd Chronicles now about Hezekiah, who like restores, this guy Ahaz like destroyed all this stuff, and he comes behind him as his kid and has to like clean up the mess his dad, you know, left behind. And it's like, we're gonna have to restore some things. You know, some of us are called in here to be restorers of brokenness. And so I'm just thinking, I didn't have a dad that was around, so I want to be a dad that's around. I didn't have mentors or men speaking into my life very often. I want to make sure that I'm making time to do that. You know, so it's just filling the gap of where I felt I didn't receive some things and being that for other people. Who's at the mic?
Okay. Hi.
Double dipping.
Okay. So if I were to give you like a piece of paper that I drew on for you, would you take it?
Yes. You want to get some of those guys back there?
That was quick. The ones that have been standing the whole time? Yeah.
More gifts? Anybody got gifts? Is that what we're doing right now? You got gifts. Give them to, right here. Give them to Carlos.
Hey, so I run a rehab facility, and I was wondering if you got any advice for anybody in here that might be going through any kind of addictions of any kind. Don't hurt yourself, brother. I'm sorry about that. I'm not shocked.
Do I have advice for anybody going through addiction?
Yes.
Man, I don't have any specific advice because there's so many different types of addictions, things that people go through. But at the core of addiction, whether you're addicted to pornography or drugs or whatever the case is, I think there's a central core, a central theme, which is addictions I typically find are escapes for people, right? And like, those are our functional saviors. We feel like we need something in order to function. This thing will save me. This thing will give me peace or hope or comfort. And even if I know it's bad for me, I still need it. And my only advice is that I know that those things are real and they're hard to break. And it would be very, what do I say? Very insensitive for me to just give you a cliche answer and say like, this is how you deal with addiction. Next question. It's a real dark and serious thing that people are in bondage to. But the only thing I can say is I know this from experience from being someone who was addicted to pornography for a long time, is that like, you're not hopeless. And that there's hope in Jesus, that he can fulfill any addiction or fulfill anything that we're looking for through our addictions. He's the greater hope in that. And how that looks would take a long time to unpack and reveal, but like, people aren't hopeless. Just because they're addicted to things doesn't mean that those addictions can't be broken and God can't restore them.
Quick question. You feel like you're called to do what you do, and I believe that because of listening to you. For people that feel that they're called to do something, when they're first starting to do it and it gets tough, what advice do you have for them to keep going in that?
Yeah, for me, I think it's defining what calling is. And here's some good tips for defining what calling is. Sometimes we pray and we ask God, is this what I'm called to? And sometimes he answers from heaven, cracks the sky and goes, yes, go there. For a lot of people, it's not, it isn't that way. God, this is what I'm supposed to do. And here's a few ways that I'm able to help define calling. Affinity, do you love it? Capability, are you capable of doing this thing? Are you good at it? Opportunity, are opportunities opening for you to be able to do this? And fourth, does your community affirm that stuff? Do you love it? Are you any good at it? Are there opportunities to do it? And do people around you who know you and love you, your community, say, yes, I see this in you, go forth? Those are really good indicators that God is calling you to do something. When it gets difficult, it comes down to, I really believe that God is calling me to do this, and I'm going to persevere through the difficult times if you really see those things starting to click.
You're out of time, Andy.
Oh,
no! Don't throw rocks.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, you could take a selfie. Yes! With everybody.
Big shout out to 365 Concord, wherever they are. Hey-oh! Wait, Bob Gavi says what's up. Can we all do a group selfie? Yeah! Yeah? All right. Well, all right, here's the thing. Are these all the seats that they're staying in for the night?
No, it's open floor, so...
I think here's what we need to do. We need to shimmy everybody up into this middle section here and grab the most epic selfie of all time.
All right.
Do it! To the middle!
Head up to the bleachers.